It's a music event that kicks off the new season of concerts by jazz at Lincoln. The South African Songbook, followed by the virtuosic big band's first ever tour of Mzansi at the Joy of Jazz Festival in Johannesburg later this month.
One of the things that when we think about South African jazz stateside, we're often thinking of the Sophia Town era of jazz, or we're thinking of exiles like your Masekela, Miriam Makeba, and as well we should, it's amazing music. But the story of jazz didn't stop in 1994. It grew and evolved, it got deeper and richer, and so that's what we wanted to celebrate. And by doing so, we can bring to light some musicians and composers who absolutely deserve an international audience.
An idea first conceived as far back as 2012, germinating further when the late Vuyo Sotashe celebrated his 75th birthday at this same venue in 2014.
They're calling it a celebration of South Africa's contemporary and traditional jazz music, performed both by the country's expat and local jazz musicians at the venue behind me for a limited run starting Thursday, September 12th until the 14th, marking a celebration of 25 years of the country's democracy at a time where political and socio-economic challenges are raising questions both here and at home about South Africa's future trajectory.
Among the South African talent, this vocalist moved to New York on a Fulbright scholarship in 2013.
It's been such an honor to get to work with Wynton and also with Jazz at Lincoln Centre, as well as the orchestra. When I moved over here, while studying and doing my master's, I took an internship here for about a year and worked in programming. So I got to see like the behind the scenes and then also interact with Wynton outside of music, you know, so getting to learn about him, you know, and how he, you know, runs, I guess, this incredible institution. And then getting the opportunity to actually work with him has been such a great experience.
Multi-award-winning saxophonist and music teacher McCoy Mrubata is also in the mix, along with this Cape Town-born vocalist who has performed across Europe before moving to the United States 2 years ago, and spoke about what this moment means in the current South African context.
We're looking for hope, and it's ironic that we're speaking on September 11, because I think America also went through that, you know, and I think every nation in the world has that moment of complete darkness where you have to just find little chinks of light. And South Africa, I mean, we're strong. We've come through so much, and I think that if we stand together, especially at these dark moments, as you saw with all those women marching, it was really, it's been a cyclic time. You know, you strike a woman, you strike a rock, and we have to go back there.
Thandi Ntuli, originally from Shoshanguve, will combine her talents at the piano with vocals that reflect a cross-cultural jazz mix of home, America, and African traditional music.
It's really one of those moments where I think a few times you have to pinch yourself and be like, this is actually happening. Especially being in the rehearsals and just observing him as almost a natural educator, and just in the way that he directs the band, but also gives people space to, you know, find their way. But knowing that I'm in the presence of such tradition, just like encapsulated in one person, in one institution, it's really amazing. And I definitely know that we've got a lineage of artists who've kind of paved the way for us and made South African jazz something that anyone would actually take interest in.
Historically, the role of artists has always been to tell the truth and to also show the truth about who we are, you know, to be a mirror. Mm-hmm. So I think in the way that jazz was in many ways a mirror of where we were at, you know, during the apartheid era, and was challenging, you know, the status quo. It was challenging the way we think about who we are and how we can live together. I think that is the exact same role that we have now, you know. History you know, moves in circles and cycles. So we can look back and see what our forefathers and our ancestors, the musicians that came before us, what they did, how they played, or how they lived in those times, and to see how we can be relevant now.
Musicians who have shaped the sound of jazz post-liberation, bringing their perspectives to an audience steeped in its global traditions, while yearning to experience the unique offerings that this genre of music so effortlessly embodies. Sherwin Bryce Pease, SABC News, New York.